Welcome to the 20 Years of Morrowind podcast. Morrowind is a shared journey we took on our own, and today we will discover one such journey. My guest is Dominik Zdenković, an artist working in the entertainment industry. Dominik, welcome.
Hi, welcome. I'm glad to be here.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. And what we want to know is what's what I call your Morrowind journey like? What happened with Morrowind? How you met? Presumably how you fell in love, and and what's the child that came out of that? I guess.
So I'm 29 years old, so I was like 9 when Morrowind came out.
Mm.
So obviously I didn't really find out about it right away. But when I was younger, I used to play a lot of video games, mostly Warcraft and Age of Empires and strategy games. And I remember that one day in 6th grade, I came to my friend's house and he was playing this awesome game where you could like walk around, pick up things and stuff, and I was blown away. Up until that point, I have never seen anything like this. Anything.
There's a spoon. It's worth 1 gold. You can pick it up, and then you pick up all the wooden spoons just
Yeah,
because you can.
yeah, and then there is like tons of houses in this city, and you can enter each one. There is no invisible walls.
Mm.
And I was mind blown. And then he showed me the map, and I'm like, "What? You're like here, this little tiny one thing, and there's this like whole big world." Oh my! So yeah. Of course, I couldn't really get the game at the time, but he really liked Pokemon, and I had a bunch of cards. So I gave him my whole collection for the game. Basically, like this. Yeah,
Hey, like
everything.
you paid a heavy price. Wow, Morrowind was worth your whole Pokemon card collection.
Yeah, well, it was at the time when Pokemons were kind of on the decline and they weren't so popular and they were dying out. So I think I got the better
It's a
deal.
good deal. I love that. I love that. Got the game for a bunch of Pokemon cards. All right, and then you finally played the game. What did you do in your game? Do you keep on visiting everybody's houses?
Yeah, at the beginning, like I didn't know anything. I did speak English, but I didn't really understand it that much. And I mean, I could understand the basics, but when you had like a big list of topics you can talk to people and no quest markers, nothing, I didn't really understand what I'm supposed to do in the game. But I just kind of went with the flow. I would just visit houses, talk to people, explore. Yeah, also in the beginning, like I knew about the cheat code for the toggle god mode.
Ah,
Yeah, I
TGM.
use TGM. I use that one all the time. In the beginning I never played without it because I did try, but I would just die like instantly.
To a rat inside an inn.
Exactly, I would just miss 5,000 times and die, and I didn't know how to fix. I didn't know how to fix that, so yeah. So yeah, in the beginning I was just like walking around, talking to people. I didn't really know about quests. I didn't really know about main quest. I would just sell the papers. I had no idea. I think it took me maybe 5 years until I figured out there is actually a main quest in the game.
Good, so
I
you can
didn't.
keep on playing the game, discover new things.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have internet at that time, so I couldn't really even check. I did figure out there's like Thieves Guild and Fighters Guild, but I did maybe like 2 quests, and then I would get stuck on something where I had to go, I don't know, out of town and follow some complicated directions, a bit more in-depth directions, and I just couldn't do it. So yeah, in
So
the beginning, I think for the first like 2 years, 3 years, I played it almost exclusively, not okay, yeah, half half. Basically, I would just open the game, toggle god mode, and I would just go explore, go on adventures. Like I would walk around the coast or make a day trip around the island, go to an area on the map that I didn't explore, and I would just walk there very slowly. And yeah, I mean,
So how is it? How is it that there's this game, and admittedly, you were not aware of so many things in the game? Like, what made you play if you didn't have the quest, the dialogue, the story, the lore? What made you play without all those things?
oh, I mean, you didn't have the lore, but you could see this strange, wonderful world.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of differences in different regions. So you could see like these mushrooms, huge mushrooms, the mysterious ruins, the Telvanni area was really unique, and it's really stood out when you first found out about it. I mean, it took me some time, because I mostly like walked around, or I would take the boats. Yeah. So, and I really liked adventures. At that time I was also reading a lot of adventure books and Robin Hood. So I really liked exploring. So it's basically like being a world that you can explore, and you don't really need to eat. You don't need to worry about how where you're gonna live and sleep. And I mean, I was in the 6th, 7th grade. That's like 11 or 12 years old. So pretty young.
So the exploration.
Yeah. But after a few years, of course, I started a playthrough without God mode, and around that time I figured out that there is a main quest and everything, so I started anew just to do the main quest, and I actually knew enough English and understood the directions good enough, so I could do the stuff. And it took me like after 4 years, it was the first time that I actually delivered the papers that you get.
Okay, escuchares. Oh,
Yeah,
that's what the
yeah.
paper is for.
Yeah, I know that in my God mode playthrough, I just realized there's the main quest, and I just couldn't find the papers, and I've sold them like hundreds of hours ago. Yeah.
Been there, done that. Going to Gaius Cosares and say, so where's the paper? And you go, I'm sure I had it. And you sold it at Ariel's, the first thing you did. You sold it in
Exactly.
Satanin.
Yeah, I stole everything and sold it there and never seen them again. But yeah, I remember being really mind blown about the whole main quest when I played it the first time, in depth in lore and actually going to Ashlander camps. So it was amazing.
So when did you feel like drawing what you saw in Morrowind? When were you inspired to draw?
In high school, I wanted to become a concept artist and illustrator. I mean, maybe partially because of the Morrowind and partially because I really played games and I wanted to do some games. So I ended up going to architecture school, didn't really like it, dropped out and started drawing, trying to become a concept artist. And after some time, I felt I had enough experience and skills to get a job, and I was just trying to find a project for myself, something that I could connect to it, people could connect to it, and yeah, something that I could deliver a couple of images to show
Like a
to show my
portfolio.
skills. Yeah, exactly, my portfolio. So of course, Morrowind came to mind, and I was just thinking maybe I can like redesign it or show how it looked like. And I actually downloaded the game, logged in, and I was really shocked actually how bad the graphics were.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, at that point I didn't play for maybe like 6 years or 7, and I got back in the game and I'm like, damn, it doesn't look anything like I remember it. Anything. It's totally different. Yeah, and I just knew I have to do this. We're going to go to some iconic places that stood out in my mind, and I'm just gonna go and like show how I remember them, how I felt when I was there and exploring.
Love that. So essentially, you try to reproduce how you saw the game all these years ago and how epic it felt.
Yeah, exactly. I remember like mornings and the chill in the music, and the graphics back then for me were high definition, the best.
It was for sure.
It was amazing. I couldn't run it at full graphics on my PC. I had to tone down stuff.
Please make it blurry.
Yeah.
With the fog to the minimum, so you couldn't see anything 2 meters ahead.
Yeah.
I should mention right now that all the links to see Dominik's artwork will be in the description. So take a look right now. So when we speak about it, you can go, I see what you sort of, because I will not edit the video.
Okay.
That's the truth. Have you ever thought about playing Morrowind with updated graphics? With mods, with new textures to make it look like a more modern game.
I did. I even I think I tried to install it, or I did install some mods. I'm not sure back then when I was trying it out, but it either didn't work out, or I wasn't really pressed that much. I think the screenshots that I saw, they look good, but there's some limitations in the engine. It looks a bit too much for me. I don't know, too
Mm.
visually heavy, too textured, too much contrast everywhere. I actually prefer it in this sort of a more basic graphic style, and I still actually sometimes turn on the game, just toggle god mode and walk around, fly around, yeah, explore some
Back to
places.
the roots, back to the
Yeah,
origins.
yeah,
I'm gonna guess that maybe that was the graphic and sound overhaul, which was very, very popular. It would be one mod that would, boom, magically change all the graphics. And it's true that the colors were very vibrant with the high contrast. So a different feel to the vanilla palette that is more sort of washed out colors. It's quite different.
yeah, yeah. I really like the original washed out version. It just likes a bit of definition in the shapes, the blurry textures, but I think that there is the charm in that, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's what actually brings me back. Morrowind is probably the game that I played the most in my life ever, and one of the games that had probably the most impact on my life. As I can see, still like that, I still explore and hike, do basically all the things that I was doing in the game back when I was too young to actually realize. So yeah, that was one of the best experiences of my childhood, the digital experience.
Love that. Did you try the following titles, Oblivion and Skyrim?
Yeah, I did play both, but I don't know. They just didn't really click. Especially Oblivion, it felt extremely generic. After coming from Morrowind with all the weird houses, weird architecture, these strange influences, when I played Oblivion, it was just like a normal medieval world. I don't know. And Skyrim felt pretty much the same, except as just a normal Vikings, dragons. I don't know. It just didn't have this uniqueness and freshness that Morrowind.
True.
All the
Morrowind
yeah,
has some iconic buildings and plants and creatures.
yeah, and yeah, like it's uncomparable. As for instance, like Bone Walkers and the whole Ash vampires and that lore and
The
story.
corpus walkers, they're
Yeah.
so disgusting.
Oh yeah, I remember being
In
really.
a way that they're so disgusting that you can't help look at them and go, ugh.
Yeah, for me it was really unique.
There's somebody wanted me to ask you the following question. I quote, "How the hell did you capture the mood of Seidanin so well?"
Well, this is how I saw Seidanin, and I just tried to remember back in my childhood how it felt walking around Seidanin in the mornings, and try to connect it with some other experiences I had in life, like in the early dawn. And yeah, I just clicked together. I just transferred my emotions to the Seidanin painting, and it worked out.
It really did.
Something's done.
Really did. I don't know if you've tried to play Elder Scrolls Online because they have that Morrowind DLC and there's Seidanin there. I'm curious if you
Yeah,
played it or seen it and what you thought.
I've seen it, and I didn't really play it because online games these days they just take up too much time, and they want to focus on painting.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just seen some screenshots and things like that, but yeah, didn't. I know there is Satan in there, but I have no idea how it looks like actually.
It's kind of weird because it's the Elder Scrolls takes place in the second era, so many years before Morrowind. But Seidanin, my guess is that they really wanted to give that nostalgia feeling to it when people play the game. So Seidanin is exactly the same.
Oh yeah,
So you go, oh yeah, clearly that's Seidanin, but it's not Seidanin. I don't know how many hundred years before Morrowind. So it felt off to a lot of people that I talked to, and it doesn't have the same I don't know magic as the real Seidanin that we know.
yeah, I guess, and especially when there is like tons of players walking around there, and
On
yeah, you just
purple horses and I don't know
yeah.
winged guars. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
exactly.
looked at the game in a while.
I can understand why it doesn't feel off. I remember it being like this small, kind of empty town, marshland, just like infinite possibilities beyond.
Definitely.
And you,
You said that Morrowind has an impact on your life, definitely your art. Is it okay to hope you'll draw more of Morrowind?
yeah, I mean, I actually did start some other Morrowind projects. Like I tried Aldrune, or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Pronunciation, it's totally
Yeah,
up to you. Just
yeah.
whatever. Aldrun, that's fine.
And I did. I have a couple of images with it. I did like a year ago that I still didn't post, but I didn't really have time to finish them.
Mm.
So I was actually planning to maybe do something fresh for the 20th anniversary to celebrate it. But yeah, Morrowind is definitely one of my projects in my project folder that I think about going back every now and then. So yeah, it's even has a special folder on my portfolio on ArtStation, just Morrowind. So it's definitely something that is work in progress and it's not finished.
Good. We will keep an eye on that. You mentioned that you wanted to work as a concept artist. I'm gonna guess that you took a look at the Morrowind concept art.
Yeah, I did what I could see and find. It was not much, but yeah, it was really interesting things. But it is done in a different style than others.
Mm-hmm.
Today everything is photo bashing, which is good, but it's not really paint. That's and I prefer painting much more. So
So,
that's what I'm
sorry.
trying to gravitate. Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to gravitate more towards painting side of the concept art piece, not so much to 3Ds.
I was gonna say yes. You do a lot of castles and exterior, but no interiors. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I mean, I do sometimes do interiors, but I just like epic landscapes and sunsets and big open spaces. I mean, I spend my whole day inside painting and working, so I really want to do something different this year. So
Essentially, keep traveling with the
yeah,
with your art. I get that.
yeah, exploring different places, seeing what comes out.
There is going to be, we don't know when, there is going to be the Elder Scrolls 6. Is that something you're waiting for? A little curious about?
A little curious, I'm hyped.
You're
I've been hyped for like 2 years already.
since we got
I
a
mean,
7-second trailer.
yeah, exactly. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's coming finally. I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to play it as soon as it comes out, probably. The same as it did with Oblivion and Skyrim. If it's going to be, what, Hammerfall or what? What's the name of the
Hammerfell,
novel?
yeah,
Hammerfall, yeah.
that's what I think
People
the
say.
agreement is.
Yeah.
It's fascinating that for such a short trailer, that was maybe less than 10 seconds, the amazing of articles that were published trying to guess as many things as possible from a short video clip. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, my only hope is that it's going to be a unique setting. Just doesn't really have to be totally off the rails unique as Morrowind is, huge insect houses and things, but just something that is not mainstream fantasy and something that doesn't really feel like it has been seen before, or a setting that's from books and movies, something a bit fresh.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to.
Hopefully soon, but since I don't think there has been another trailer, right? No,
I don't
I didn't
think
think.
so, but
Oh,
I don't really keep up because I don't want to build the hype for myself, because the more expectations you have about anything, the more likely you are to be disappointed.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'm trying to just go, yeah, we'll see when it's there.
Yeah,
But
that's a great
as soon
attitude.
as they show gameplay, more things, it's gonna be hard to just stay calm and say, yeah, we'll see. For now, it's easy, quite easy.
Yeah, I hope it will be soon, but yeah, probably a couple more years of wait us.
I think they're waiting to give you time to work on your Morrowind portfolio.
Hopefully, maybe they can call me. I can help them with the Elder Scrolls if they need some extra hands on deck to finish it
That
on
would be
time.
amazing. That would be a dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It would be one of the dream jobs, or actually the dream job, the most first on the list.
first on the list. I get that. Going back to Morrowind and all these years ago when you were much younger, was there something that, like a memory, something that happened, something that surprised you, shocked you, pleased you? I know you've already said that essentially you drew the scenes that you felt were the most impressive, but was there other memories you have from playing the game?
Yeah, I actually remember the first time I died, and I had God mode on.
How did you manage to do that? It's really quite hard to do.
Yeah, and I remember being shocked and afraid and just terrified because I just died to this enemy and I wasn't supposed to die. Like how?
What killed you?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I figured out at that time that a certain enemy can damage me. I think they have reflect spell or something. I'm not really sure. So when I was
Okay,
attacking,
golden saints have reflect on them, but that wouldn't kill you in god mode.
yeah, I have no idea. Or maybe
Did you attack a god?
no, no, no.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
I could kill them. Like I could kill Vivek without problems in God mode.
Yeah.
I remember that I was going through this dungeon. It was not dungeon. It was like a tomb, but
A
a really
two?
big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ancestral tomb, but like a big one. And I don't remember the exact kind of enemies there were, but it was definitely some of the lines of the high level ones, like Golden Saints or Dremoras or
Daedras.
Hydras. Yeah, something like this. And I was just like playing. My HP bar was totally full, and I just suddenly died. Like there, looking what's going on. I load the game couple of minutes before, and I actually see that my HP bar is super low, and I heal up, toggle god mode, continue playing, and I just die again. I'm like, what's going on? How does it even work? Why I'm dying if I'm supposed to be invincible? But yeah, I just figured out at that time. I figured that this enemy is dangerous, and I should maybe attack differently. So yeah, I did crawl past through the tomb, but I used like health potions and things.
So
But
you
yeah, later
played the game basically.
yeah, actually I played the game.
Oh god! So
But
now you
yeah,
know you can.
you can die. I was scared so much, and it was like this dark tomb.
Shock. Died in
Yeah,
god mode.
I think it was reflect or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, something like that. I don't know how I connected the dots. So
It's gonna be one of the mysteries of Morrowind.
Yeah.
You mentioned that each region was different. Did you have a favorite one in terms of aesthetics?
Favorite. I think I spent the most time around Balmora, and I really liked houses. I know my least favorite one was Aldrun and that whole Redoran area, right?
Yeah.
That.
Especially when you're caught in a storm and you see even less than
Exactly, and there's storm there like pretty much all the
most
time.
of the time. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't really that, and I really liked the area around Gnisis, the one on the northeast. Yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah, northwest. I always confuse west.
Yeah,
and east.
me too. I have to close my eyes and go, yeah, that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is one of the areas that I liked, and I really liked the whole of course, Telvanni parts and wilderness. Not around that, but like in general. Especially, I didn't really like the ones that are mostly blind rocks and lava, but more like grazelands and countryside around Vivek and Seydanin and the marshlands. Basically, like the things that offer places to look out, that you can look in. And Morrowind had this great thing that I really felt was like in games after, is that armor and certain items, they were really rare. So when you found something, it really mattered. Like I really didn't like the fact that I could find glass armor on bandits or Vivian. In Morrowind, I was really lucky when I would enter a temple and search a bit more, and I found something hidden somewhere behind a corner, and it's this awesome helm. It's super powerful, and I can wear it, and it's super expensive.
yeah, that's what Morrowind does. Like you would have some of the best items are just there. They're just sitting in a tomb or on somebody's shelf. They're just there. It's not like you have a dungeon and a boss, and then the boss gives you super loot, which happens and not. It's just there. You just need to look for them.
Yeah, and it's just like one item in the whole game.
Yeah.
So you better, like, if there is a strong guy near it or something, you better try to steal it somehow, think of a plan. Yeah, that's what it is. Kind of rarity and how sort of made you make up your own stories.
Oh, excellent point. Since you bring up making up stories, people play the game differently. Some of them are all about reading the books and talking to people and find out what happened, like the lore. Some are all about exploring as much as possible. Others are about collecting the best items. Some people just like to role play, where half of the game would take place in their head, basically. You know, like they would arrive and then go, oh, I don't know, I remember when I first came here, and I don't know, it depends on each people. Is role playing something that you enjoy doing as well?
I wasn't really role playing when I was playing it in that kind of sense, but I was sort of setting out missions for myself, things that I would do. Not necessarily that my character would do, but just things that I found interesting. For instance, one day I would go explore with X. I was just spending the whole day exploring, finding things. I remember when I found the vaults of the great houses or something.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
three of
I like.
them. There's the three of them.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is gonna be super hard to get into. So I was doing the planning, how I'm gonna get in, training my sneaking skills, lock picking, until I could actually break into them, get the loot, get out without being noticed. These kind of things, like there's no quest.
Exactly, yeah. Nobody tells you, hey, there's a vault and it's there, and you need to steal the key from that person, and then you need to cast a spell. This no, the vaults they're there, and you decide if you want to go there, and you work out how to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the whole thing with the quest log actually being like, oh, you need to just go northwest and then find a big rock that looks like a hand, then turn right.
That's in the
Yeah.
Graceland, and then you see the rock, and you go, "Is that it? Is that a hand? Is that what they mean?"
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of quests like that, and I think it really helped me with just general orientation and trying to, when I'm walking around new city or things like that, hiking in the mountains, it's the same skills. You look at the map, you just need to judge where is north, where is south. Okay, so this kind of rock on the map is it this rock that I see in the person. Like, yeah, that's also one thing that I like, but I also don't think I would have the patience to date this way.
Uh-huh.
I must admit that
It's
today I would prefer like a quest marker to tell me to go somewhere.
we've been spoiled by games.
Yeah.
It's but Morrowind definitely, yeah, it teaches you patience, and then because you get lost, because you don't know half of the time where you're going or what you're doing. When you do something, like when you find that bloody rock that looks like a hand, it's like, yes, it's a victory, when really you just walked and you saw a rock. That's all it was. But you have
Yeah.
that sense of achievement.
Yeah, and I think it's filled with that. It's kind of self-made sense. But this kind of thing. In the later games, I just didn't get that. Like, sure, I would go to the quest, I'll kill the guy, get the stuff. There was no sense of even finding the place or finding something on your own. Like Skyrim was much better in that regard. Oblivion really felt empty. I don't know, small. After Morrowind, it's so small.
Like I would tend to agree, and for me, when we were waiting for Oblivion, in my mind it was gonna be Morrowind but better. So
Yeah.
I had totally helped myself for it, and then it's my fault. But I was so bitterly disappointed. I didn't play it for years, and I gave it another chance. It's okay, but not the same. Nothing is the same, really. I was gonna ask you something and I forgot. Bummer. It was a good question.
Yeah.
It will come back. I'll edit that bit out. The bit where
Yeah.
I'm confused. Crap. You were
No worries,
talking
no worries.
about.
About experiences and
Oh yes, the compass. The compass. You're saying that now you kind of want to play with it, and it's so weird because people say, "Oh, Morrowind was better. There was no compass and quest mark." Real gaming, but at the same time, we got used to it to the point that when there's a few quests in Skyrim where there's no quest marker and you have to look for something, you go, "Oh crap! Now I have to look for it." Like, we're never happy. And
yeah, I think
yeah.
yeah, I think it depends on the amount of time that I have and also the amount of compass use.
Mm.
For instance, I think compass it's a good thing, but also it can be a bit too much sometimes. Like there's too many things marked. You can teleport around. Okay, yeah. So the returning back from the quest, that's easy. I mean, in Morrowind you could also teleport around. But yeah, I think a balance would be the best when you have a quest marker, but it's not really 100% there. It doesn't really tell you, okay, this thing here, this is here, or this is here. I remember in Morrowind sometimes you quest mark. Somebody would mark you thing on the
A
map where you
city,
need to go.
like you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to go there. This kind of hand holding, when it kind of guides you, but not so much. It doesn't really mark, okay, here's this cabinet and, glowing. It's not really glowing in Skyrim correctly, but yeah, you can use things. Yeah, this kind of mix would be the best for me, right? Back then, when I was younger, I mean, I was going in elementary school.
Mm.
I would have school until 1 p.m., and then I could just either play Morrowind or play with my friends. So
Plenty of time.
yeah, plenty of time to just walk around and try to figure things out. I mean, I remember I spent like a week or 2 weeks trying to find a place for Fighters Guild quest. I forgot which one, but I remember it was like a mine or a cave that I needed to clean up. Something that I just couldn't find it. 2 weeks of just searching. Yeah, I just gave up. No way.
I hope it wasn't the one where you have to deliver the booze to the miners, because that would create a riot in the mine.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was some late Fighters Guild quest. I think I was almost near the end of the whole quest line. I was pretty high up on the ranks. Yeah, I just couldn't find it. They said the instructions were go to the Ghost Gate and then search southwest or southeast or something. Sure.
Yeah.
At that time, I even looked online after some time because I already had internet, figured out the quests. I don't know.
Secret cave. The other thing with the compass, yeah, you're sort of, when you're playing, you're looking at that compass, you're looking at that quest marker. Whereas in Morrowind, because you don't have that compass, you're looking left and right, like you're looking at the world rather than your compass.
Yeah, and I think there is a lot of merit in that, and it really actually helps immersion when you walk around the road and you see a sign. You need to check out the sign, go left or right or somewhere. If you see the sign goes right, left is like unmarked road. You're like, oh,
Decision. You've played a lot of Morrowind and you've played a lot of Skyrim as well. Do you know of, and if so, what do you think of the project Skywind, where they are using the Skyrim engine and they're recreating Morrowind in that?
I've seen it, and when I was starting my concept art journey, I even tried to apply for it, do some work for it, but I don't know, I think I didn't really finish my application or something. At that time, they already had all the concept art for the landscapes, so I think they needed like shields and armor and weapons. I follow the project online and I check videos that they post, and I think it has tons of potential, but also it's just huge. It's a huge undertaking to recreate all the models and then place them in this huge, it's really large. I did also recent couple of years ago when I came back to Morrowind a bit, found about Tamriel
rebuilt.
Yeah, Tamriel rebuilt, and that was also a mind-blowing experience because I went just exploring around these new areas, just walking, and they really built a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right now the landmass that they created for Tamriel Rebuild is at least twice the size of Vvardenfell, the original game, which is nuts, absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
and they're still working on it.
Yeah, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed they actually finish it, or at least not really. I mean, it's even bigger than Skyrim, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they at least do the landscaping everywhere, so you can have houses and interesting places to see and visit, even if you cannot enter.
They kind of have that because if you look at the archive, the mod again, there's Tamriel Rebuilt mainland with the quest and everything, and then there's another plugin called TR Preview, and that's the rest of the landscape, and they've done the landscaping and the exterior, some interiors, but you don't have the quest and the dialogues and the people So the world is yours. You go and it's yours.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out. I did download it 3 years ago.
Yeah,
So
there's been a lot more since then.
Yeah, they are really dedicated.
Morrowind, fueled by passion. A lot of things. It's just passion. Spending all the time, just like you with your project. It's a lot of time just because you love the game so much.
Yeah, it does have a really dedicated community.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a small one, but it's there.
Yeah, I even tried modding back when I was younger.
Tell me, what was your project? Go ahead.
My project, I had 2 projects.
Uh-huh.
So one project was to make this huge island off the coast of Seydanin, have it like a desert, Arabian style. Yeah, I didn't really go anywhere. I made like a small part of a small sandy dune in the middle of the ocean, and there were like 3 houses, and that's it. So yeah, this one failed. I think I also made the boat and NPC with the boat that can take you there. I'm not sure.
Nice.
I think I did it. Yeah, so and the other one was this like house in the middle of near Vivek that had basically just generic Morrowind house, and they made some custom items like bottle of rum. I don't know. I was really young.
That's fair. That's about the same first mods. Either I'm gonna remake Morrowind, like huge projects that are not, or a house mod. Seydanin, Balmora, Vivek also. So completely normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody
At some
either
point.
go too large or you're like, maybe I can make a place for myself.
Yeah. When you get tired of murdering innocent NPCs to put your stuff in their houses.
Oh, I didn't. I had my house, but I didn't murder an innocent NPC. I got it near, I think it's Dagonfell or somewhere, the island on the north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was this like Dwemer Tower when you can find the artifact, the mask of Clavicus File.
Yes.
Yeah. I just murdered everybody there, and I just placed my stuff. It's not too big. There's few rooms. You can just put things down. You have a study room upstairs.
Pretty neat.
Both.
View on the sea, Dwemer ruins nearby to explore.
Yeah.
Lots of fish to fish.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot. Tell me, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no, I think we really did go over everything, including the god modes that actually brought a few of them.
Excellent. Well, really looking forward to seeing what you draw for Morrowind, and the other stuff also is really amazing. And if you go back and play Morrowind, like Tamriel Rebuilt, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'll probably go back to it, or maybe even draw some inspired by Tamriel.
Nice.
I saw some places back there.
That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Yes, jackpot. Thank you so much for talking to us. That was really amazing and interesting. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And people do take a look at Dominik's portfolio. Trust me. Bye everyone.